Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started right now. This is August the 13th, 2019, and I want to welcome each and every one of you to tonight's masterclass. As you may know, my name is Latasha Carpenter, also named as Your Girl Tasha. I am actually a gold leader with Vita Divina. I am a pioneer with Vita Divina. I've been here since we launched and opened back in September 2016, and actually even before that time frame. Since being in the company, guys, it has allowed me to do several things to change my life. I actually was able to leave a bad marriage that I was stuck in for 10 years too long. I was able to purchase a new home by combining this income that I get part-time along with my full-time income that I have. I was able to purchase my son a car. I was able to stay out of jail and not murder my ex-husband. And next year, I will be retiring from my 9-to-5 job, and I will be doing this full time. So this opportunity has really meant a whole lot to me. More importantly is the lives that I see changing throughout my repeat clients that I have, and also through the partners and the people that we have within our family. What you put into this business can be very, very rewarding for everyone. So with that being said, some of you guys have received the notice and you're probably a little bit shocked that, hey, it's Your Girl Tasha training tonight and it's not Sam Cerner training tonight. Well, guys, we just learned today that we are going to move into a different culture within Vita Divina today, temporarily, or may become permanently. Armand has given a direction to all diamonds that they are no longer to provide any online training at all. Those of you who had the benefit of being a part of the Monday before last special training he did for my downline, in that he actually expressed that his preference is that there's no online training. He uses online Zooms and Facebook to promote things, but not for actually training things. So I did reach out to him to say, hey, wait a minute, what's going on here? Because some people will be at a disadvantage. Those who are close to the HQ where people will do training there are going to have an upper hand on us who are far away and can't be there. But his whole thing is that the diamonds right now, if he finds any of them doing any kind of training, then they are not going to be permitted to be on the stage and do training at big events like the convention or regional events and things of that nature. His logic behind it is that he just does not want them to be, if they train us and they have to be at a big event and they are one of the featured speakers and we've already heard what they're going to teach us, then we're not inclined to go to the events. So this model that he's putting into effect as of today, that just found out about 3 hours ago, because this training was not planned for Latasha to do at all, was put into effect today in a design to make sure that we have more people show up in person when we have these events, okay? So this is a new culture. It'll be a change for the better and a change for the good, all right? So right now, tonight, what I've decided to do, we asked people to drop some topics that they thought would be good topics for us to have training with over the next couple of weeks on Tuesdays and Thursday nights. We are here, 8 o'clock. And someone dropped the suggestion that we needed to do training on how to stay motivated within our business. Well, so often you hear that word saying how to be motivated in the business. And actually it was Cree Dumas that suggested the training on how to be motivated in the business. Instead, what I wanted to title this training tonight, guys, in the same line of that is stay strong enough, long enough, okay? This is about staying strong enough, long enough. I want to make sure I don't see any other attendees in the training to be upgraded to a panelist, okay? First of all, guys, I mean, we have to keep things real. This industry actually is just full of a lot of stress, period. It's full of a lot of stress. Even like our 9-to-5 jobs are full of stress. When trying to make our businesses successful, we find ourselves on an emotional roller coaster, And I think by a show of hands, how many people have at least once thought about quitting? All right, I see one. I only see one person hand not up. Larnice's hand is not up. She has been in here since October. She has not thought about quitting. I can't see hands of those people who don't have their video open. So you can use the computer or something. I would like to see your wonderful faces, Miss Tanya Pritchett. Roy Box, I understand he's in the bed. Patty and George, I see they're driving. I'm not expecting them to actually interact too much, but each and every one of us has actually thought about quitting at least once. And if not, there's some of us that think about quitting 100 times a day, right? So with that being there, part of it, I think, is a downfall about industry. With this industry, guys, it's really easy to start the industry. Okay, bottom line, we pay a little fee, we say yes, we in. But what's just as easy is to get out of the industry. If you want to say you're out, you're out. Okay. So that's the problem is that it's easy to do and it's easy not to do here. And I think that contributes to the portion of why some people fail to stay motivated, or some people feel like they want to quit. Do we agree on that? That could be a contributing factor. Okay, I see that the head's nodding, okay? And for those of us who find ourselves stepping up and taking a leadership role, it's even more stressful than for the normal person. And that's simply because we are taking a leadership role to be over a group of volunteers. The bottom line is, when we paid our money and we said yes, we volunteered to do this. We've decided that we want to be bosses. We're not supposed to be in our mindset where we're supposed to have somebody cracking a whip and telling us what to do or what we're not doing or any of that other kind of stuff. And for those of us who step up in that leadership role because we really care about the success of everyone, it makes it harder for us to get it done. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to give everyone tonight some tips on how you can go about being motivated or staying motivated. Bottom line, staying strong enough, long enough, okay? So number one, guys, first of all, we are so used to it. Each and every one of us have been told to hold on to our why, right? We all know about that. Hold on to your why. Your why. When sometimes we had somebody made a little acronym and said why stands for what hurts you. Your why is supposed to be your motivation, right? But I think that at this point, some of us have been in this game long enough, or even in this opportunity long enough, that we need to get a little bit more specific when we're talking about the why, okay? A lot of times our why is ultimately for a long-term goal. So just to demonstrate that, if I ask, let me say, Natasha, what's your why that you're in this business?
I would like to retire my husband.
Okay, that's a long-term goal. Paula, what's your why in this business?
My why in the business is to, number one, to be financially free and to have time freedom and to help my children, leave a legacy for my children.
Okay, that's a long-term goal. Patty, I don't know if you can unmute. What's your why in the business, Patty?
My why, my kids, and financial free. Time for my family to join them. Things that you cannot do without having your financial freedom.
Okay, thank you. And Jorge, what's your why in the business?
Yeah, I want to be able to, of course, be financially free also, and do more things, make it happen, make it possible. I mean, I'm barely starting, but I know I can get there, and I can go grow
Oh,
hard.
All right, so with that, guys, if you heard, every why that they gave is a long-term, a big goal. And I'm starting to think that in this, that because I hear so many people talk about the fact that sometimes they're losing motivation, that those whys, when they're set so big, is not enough for us. So tonight, I'm challenging each one of you, and I don't think that it's something that you could quickly write down or do. It's probably going to have to be something that you're going to have to write this down and go back and really sit down and think about it. I want you to break your why down and identify so it's a specific, achievable item that you want in your life right now. Ultimately, when it comes to the end, we want our financial freedom. Ultimately, we want to leave a legacy for our children down the line. Ultimately, we want to have time freedom. But what is a specific item that you want right now at this time in your life? Something that's tangible. And don't talk about money. It has to be something that you connect an emotion to. Think about it. If you really are digging deep enough, guys, you're not going to be able to do it right here on the Zoom. So I'm not expecting you guys to give me an answer right now, but that is going to be your task, to go and really think about something that's emotionally attached to that you want as a goal right now. The moment you have that aha moment and you identify what it is, what you need to do is you need to put that on a piece of paper. And I'm challenging you to put it somewhere that is visible to you every single day. It's visible to you not only when you're up and you're happy, but it's visible to you when you're down, okay? And you have to just focus on that. And then the second thing, dealing with your why, I want you all to write down that you need to adopt a model for yourself, okay? Your mottos will be, I will until. So whatever it is, when it comes to your business, because all of you have said yes to this business, because you say that it's the mechanism to get you what you want in your life, you need to be committed to yourself that I will until. In doing all that too, guys, when you identify where you want to go with this short-term why goal, because again, we've always had this long-term stuff. Well, we need something that's a carrot in front of our face yesterday. If any of y'all guys saw me playing with Rocky on the live yesterday and I had his toy, he was trying to get it right there. I want y'all to dangle something in front of your face right now to keep you motivated about this business, okay? And when you do that, what you have to have is a crystal clear plan to achieve that. So your additional task before we get back together is for, well, at least I'll say at least till next Tuesday. I don't know if you could do it by Thursday, but get you a crystal clear action plan, a crystal clear plan towards how you're going to reach that big why goal. That was some of the examples that some of you guys opened up and shared earlier, but also to reach your right now, this is what I want, tangible emotional goal that I want right now. And you have to understand, when you write that action plan down, you just can't have one direction there. Whenever you're going to a destination, guys, there's always multiple roads that you could take to a destination. Some of us has that Waze on our car and how it redirects us and goes around traffic and takes us another place. When we run into a roadblock, you could take different forms of transportation and go there. Some of you are going to decide to walk. Some of y'all going to decide to drive. Some of y'all going to decide to fly, whatever it may be. In your action plan, you need to identify every one of those items in order for you to be able to adjust if you get somewhere and you got that feeling like I'm about to quit. Is there any questions about that?
So Tasha, just let me be clear. On the short term, you said it cannot be related to money. So you said an emotional.
It's not simple enough to just say, okay, I want $500 by the end of next week.
Okay.
Every day we're talking about how much money we want to make. We know what our monthly income goals that we want to start with, but the bottom line is that those things have not been keeping all of us motivated. Some of us still are going in that mode where we just feel like, okay, I might need to quit. I don't know if this is right for me, whatever it may be, okay? So something that you're going after that has an emotional thing to it. I could think back before Terrence was getting ready to move. And one of the times that Terrence decided to go ahead and really do some work, when he moved, and hopefully he doesn't mind me sharing this with him, all you guys share stuff with me, but when he moved at that point to his new apartment, baby girl was on the floor, right, Terrence?
Yeah.
Baby girl was on the floor and did not have a bed or a mattress. That was something tangible he did not want. It's okay for dad to be on the floor, but it's not okay for romance to be on the floor. So he worked hard enough in his business that month that he was able to purchase her a bed to get her up off that floor. So that's an example of what I'm talking about. Something that's right here, right now, that's emotionally tangible to you, that keeps you focused and keep you going every day so you don't feel like you're about to quit. Number 2, that's your first tip that you got there, okay? Your number 2 tip that you have is that I want each and every one of you to take inventory of where you are in your business today. I don't want you focusing on where you're going to be, okay, at this moment. Take inventory of where you are in your business today. And each and every one of you need to be okay with where you are in your business today. If you're okay with where you are today, that means that you're not focusing on what should have happened, what would have happened, what hasn't happened, what didn't happen. You're not looking at that rear view mirror when you're supposed to be driving, looking through the windshield. So identify where you are, be okay with it, and after you do that, then we can think about where we want to be tomorrow. But when you think about where you want to be tomorrow, you have to then begin focusing on and identifying what is causing you to have a learning curve between your 2 destinations. Your current location is where your business is now. Your ultimate location, your final destiny is where you want your business to be. What is causing your learning curve, preventing you from getting to that destination? Be honest with yourself. Put it all on a piece of paper so that you can go back and you can reflect on it, and you're going to make a commitment to yourself that you're not going to fall short in these areas and in these goals. Put it on the paper, make it plain. Number 3, what do we have to do part of that learning curve? You have to make sure that you become committed to your personal growth. It's not the first time that we've been told it. We hear people all the time saying that we have to commit to our personal growth. The bottom line, guys, is that traditional education allows you to make a living. Most of you are making a living because of your traditional education. But self-education, guys, allows people to make fortunes. We hear it all the time. I don't care if it's Sam Cerner that's saying it. I don't care if it's Roy Box that's saying it. I don't care if it's Armand that's saying it. I don't care if it's Eric Worre that's saying it. I don't care if it's Todd Falcone, Ray Higdon, Bean, whoever. All of them talk about one common thing when it comes to you reaching your goal, and that's about personal growth. And in doing that, what you got to understand, before you get to that finish line, guys, it's a whole nother thing. You got to understand, to get to the finish line, you cannot be who you are today when you get there. So if you're not doing nothing to change who you are today, you will not reach the finish line, period. So we know what personal growth is, okay? Personal growth requires that every person pours into your mind consistently. You have to feed your mind consistently. So again, we've heard it before. That means you got to read books. You got to watch YouTube articles on certain topics. You got to read personal blogs of successful people. You got to read articles that help you master your craft. This is a sport, whatever it is. You have to do it. We all know it. Not all of us do it. I don't even do it as much as I should, okay? So this is not about beating anyone up. It's about us doing a self-autopsy on ourselves so that we can get where we want to go. Because again, your finish line will not be obtained until you change who you are today. And it's not going to happen overnight. But you have to consistently feed your mind. And then after you feed your mind, you must implement what you learn. Sometimes when you implement what you learn, it may not work for you because everything doesn't work for everybody, but something will work for you, and you will never find out what will work for you if you don't be implementing everything that you absorb into your mind. Don't be a sponge just laying there on the counter. Bring that thing out and go out and do some things. Prime example, guys. I've had individual conversations with a lot of you. Sam talked about the million dollar question. We talked about using that $1 million question in order to invite people to the business presentations. Do you know someone interested in doubling their income while working part-time? I reach out to you and some of y'all haven't popped the question to anyone throughout the day. Some of y'all haven't done it in 2 or 3 days. Some of y'all, when I talked to you, didn't even know what the question was. You sit on the trainings. You should be concentrating. You should not be, you need to make a decision to yourself that twice a week, 8 to 9 o'clock, however long, if it goes into overtime, okay, but at least 8 to 9 o'clock, I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to take notes. I'm going to put the stuff down, and I'm going to make an effort to implement it the next day. Heck, if you're not off too late, implement it the moment you hit leave the Zoom. But the key is that you have to implement it. Implementing what you learn and practicing the sport is the only thing that's going to move us towards our success, guys, period. Number 4, a tip for you to keep you motivated, to stay strong enough, long enough. I know that a lot of us started this business because we want time freedom. We want to be able to spend time with our families, and we hate that word job. But until we master our craft, to be successful, you need to treat your business like a job until you can get the freedom that you want, until you can change the lives of your life and your loved one's life. You need to treat this business like a job. So all of us heard Armand and how he has talked about the whole thing about going out and getting the 25 does, right? Let me take that example and let me turn into and say that, hey guys, we're going to give each and every one of you, I'm giving each and every one of you 25 pennies a day. Oh, better yet, Armand called me and told me to give each and every one of y'all 25 pennies, okay? And what he wants all of us to do is for every one of us to put those 25 pennies in our left pocket. And throughout the day, we need to talk to people, just get their name and their contact information. That's it, nothing else. And every time we get a person's name and contact information, move the penny from our left pocket to our right pocket. When all the pennies is in the other pocket, we can then go home. We can report back and prove that we have it. And then at the end of the week, when we've done that 5 days in a row, Armand's going to give each and every one of us $5,000. Would you do it? I saw it, Paula. I read lips good on that one. She said, of course. You got your heads nodding, all this other stuff. You would do it. And the reason for Armand maybe to do it is because he knows that having those names and having those contacts is a way of planting seeds and watering them so that they can sprout later on. They might not sprout today, but it may sprout later on. And when they sprout, it's going to help his business grow with massive action. Okay? So he's okay to give all of us $5,000 because he knows later on what he's going to do with those contacts or what could potentially come from those contacts, whether it's contacts to give you the points you need to get the residual check that you want every month, or to give you the partners that you need to have a team to work with you to make you get to your dreams. That's all it's about for him. So all of y'all sitting here saying, of course, if you're willing to do it for him or willing to do it for the money, why not treat this like a job and do it for yourself? Those 25 no's mean that we get closer to our goal of having this business work for us, guys. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that we're going to catapult like a rocket and be right there, but it is going to get us closer to that goal. So we have to be willing to do that. Now, in knowing this, all of y'all say, yeah, y'all would have done the 25 pennies to get the 5,000 at the end of the week. I need you in your quiet time after this to look back on your last 90 days, your last 60 days, your last 30 days. I don't care what it is. If you was on any company one day, look back on your one day. Be honest with yourself, evaluate it, and put down on that piece of paper, how much money would you have paid yourself? How much money would you have paid yourself? Every one of us, when we said yes to this company, we said yes to being the CEOs of You Incorporated. We are always talking about posturing up with our prospects. When we're looking for business partners, we need to posture up with ourselves. And in posturing up with ourselves, guys, put it down. You got to realize, if it's to be, it's truly up to me. It's not up to anybody else. If it's to be, it's up to me. Now, that whole thing about treating this thing like a job, there's some of you guys that I've heard, you say, okay, I'm going full time. I'm going to do this full time. I'm going to make this happen. And unfortunately, for some of y'all, that's just a fancy way to say you ain't got no job no more. Okay? It's not that you're really going full time. You just don't got your other job no more. So now you're saying that you're going to go full time in this. And then you have someone else who's working part-time, and that person could be given 10 hours a week, a little over 600 minutes. And you look at them and they're having more results than you're having. The only difference between, thank you, Sam, the only difference between you and that person, guys, is simply that that person is consistently putting time into their business and working it as a job. That person is truly performing daily activities geared towards the success of their business. They are no different than you. If you're looking at somebody else to compare somebody else, that's part of the reason why you're taking time away from being successful in your business, because you're looking at somebody else. I put a post on my page earlier where I said, when it comes to popcorn, Popcorn is put all in the same pot. Popcorn is cooked using the same heat. The popcorn is cooked in the same oil. But the bottom line is that every kernel pops at its own time. Instead of you focusing on how fast somebody else's kernels are popping, you need to go ahead and truly put daily concentration into focusing on your own kernels, and your kernels will begin to pop. I always talk about we're going to have our pop moment. We need to go ahead and pop like Orville Redenbacher, guys, okay? Focus on you and get that done. Tip number 5, we have got to look at tracking actions versus tracking results. There is a difference, guys. Tracking actions versus tracking results. The bottom line is that we want to do both of them, but you have to understand that it's going to take time to see the results. The most healthy method for your brain is for you to track your daily actions. We always talk about the compound effect and how many days it takes to form a true habit and all this other kind of stuff. If you form these habits and you use these actions daily, then you're gonna produce results. But the bottom line is those results show up later. They show up from being consistent. See, some of us is like, well, we've been doing what we've been doing. I've been doing this since we opened up. I'm a true pioneer. I've been doing this. Have you really been doing it? Be honest with yourself. Have you been doing it daily? Okay? The bottom line is based on how consistently you are performing those actions. Some of us, if we do it every day, not taking a day off, you still might not see no results for 90 days. It could be 6 months. It could be a year. It could be 2 years later. It could be a lag time there. But if you don't develop those habits to do those actions daily, the bottom line is you're not going to reach it. When you track your actions and you see that, oh, wow, I made this action plan and today I hit all my goals on my checklist of what I wanted to do for my business, and you're doing it over and over again, that's going to show you that you're making progress. And it also puts you in a position where you're actually creating good habits for that. And another benefit of it is that it's important. It's important for your motivation. You got to feel like you're doing something. You got to feel like you're accomplishing something. If you're focusing on the result that's going to come later on down the road and it doesn't happen, that's going to tear down your mindset. It's going to destroy your heart. It's going to destroy your spirit. So when that I want to quit thing come on you, or I'm not motivated to do this stuff coming on you or whatever, it's going to be easier for it to consume you. It's going to keep you down in that valley even longer. So going back to that, because you're tracking meeting the goals and your action plan. Remember the action plan, that crystal clear action plan that you're supposed to get. In the meantime, track that until your results start to show up. They will show up if you do it on a daily basis. And the reason why we have to do that is the only way that we can stay positive while we're in pursuit of hitting our goals. All right? Number 6, suggestion. We always talk about it. Find yourself a work partner. Dumbed down word for accountability partner. It doesn't have to be someone in this business. It doesn't have to be someone in your team. But what it does have to be is someone that will push you no matter what. We always hear Roy talk about going to the gym and flexing your muscles and building your muscles up. The bottom line is each and every one of us is capable of walking into the gym. We're capable of going from machine to machine and doing the exercises. But the bottom line is if we had somebody else there as a workout partner with us, they're going to push us and they're going to motivate us more. If we had a workout partner that was with us on a daily basis, when we was like, oh, not today, they're going to be, oh, yes, today. The two of you help each other. Y'all complement each other, because when one is down, the other one is up, and vice versa. So find you a workout partner. And number 7, the last thing that I want to say, guys, and I think that this is like a really, 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 really crucial thing. Each and every one of you, if you are saying that you want this to work, you have to establish you a long-term perspective once you create your positive habit. Because see, I could say, I've been here since 2016. I never quit. I didn't go to another company. So I've had me a long-term perspective. But have I had a long-term perspective with good habits? Once you master your good habits and you begin to daily track your actions, then start counting your long-term perspective from there, okay? Like we had already said, a downfall of MLM or networking is the fact that it's easy to get into and it's easy to get out of. Every one of you have to start looking at this MLM. We always throw to people a perk of MLM is you don't have the startup costs that you have associated when you do a brick and mortar business. But to have the success, guys, we have to start treating these businesses like they are a brick and mortar business. Treat it like you put tens of thousands of dollars down on the line. If you truly want to reach your long-term whys, act like you really put tens of thousands of dollars down on the line. Okay? That means in brick and mortar, it's no get rich quick and it's no get rich overnight at all. Everything that we do is about getting rich slow if we're really doing it right and we're not faking the funk. So what does that mean, guys? It could take you 1 to 2 years after you create the right habits to master your business. Then it could be 3 to 5 years before you build a successful team. And after that, it could be 5 years or more for you to experience the massive momentum and truly enjoy the fruits of the business. But in all of that, guys, while you condition your mind to get that long-term perspective, the main thing that you got to do is be okay with it. You got to be okay with having that long-term perspective. You got to be okay that it might not be another 1 or 2 years before I master my business. It might not be another 3 to 5 years before I have a team or start getting partners that are really working. It might not be another 5 to 10 years before I actually get my why completed. But again, this is all after you've created the right habits and you're doing your true daily actions. The bottom line, guys, is that your long-term thinking, that's the only thing that allows people to excel in this industry. And that's the only thing that's going to allow each and every one of us to truly change our lives and change the lives of the ones that we love. So that's my tips tonight. Hopefully, when you really sit down and you answer everything, you'll find it as something that as you look at on a daily basis, that when you feel like you want to quit, that it pulls you back up and gets you back pumping and gets you out of whatever's going with you. I'm going to tell you, Larnice didn't raise her hand that she's ever thought about quitting since she got started. And I believe her. I know. She's on the phone with me every day. And you know why? Because although she wants time freedom and stuff, she has so many short-term, specific, right now things that she wants to happen. That every day, no matter what's coming against her, she's fighting and she's fighting and she's fighting. I said the other day, some of the stuff that she's going through, your girl Tasha would be thinking about quitting too. But that's what her drive is. And I'm telling you that that's going to be the drive that each and every one of us need to identify to make sure that we make it happen. All right? So if anybody wants to open up and say anything, that's fine. We're at 8:45. We have about 15 more minutes.
Just a major thank you again. And I don't know anything about Larnice's personal life or whatever she's going through, but I wanted to tell you personally, because I wrote it on your live, when it was really great what you and your sister did. And you make no excuses. Even with what she said was true, you talked about sacrifice, and it had a profound impact on me. So I appreciate your drive and your determination, because it inspires me as well.
Anyone else? Okay, any questions about anything that you think can help you get through the rest of the week? Something that, Roy, open up. Go ahead, Roy.
Natasha, I want to thank you for the amazing masterclass this evening. Great information. I think that it could help everyone, so I hope that everyone took notes. I really enjoyed it, and I really love the information that you shared, so I want to congratulate you on that. And I will hope that it will help a lot of people tonight to see it as a fresh start for them, and to put in these steps, so it will help them to come close to their goals.
Thank you, Roy. Thank you. Anyone else? Patty, I saw I don't know how she driving and typed. She said, awesome master class. Thank you, Latasha. I hope she was at a red light when she did that. And Sam said, amazing training on the master class as well.